Thank you for tuning in to Talking Hip Hop. I'm your host, JustKeekz, and today's guest goes by the name of HollywoodSos. Sos is one of the fresh faces coming out of Toronto. His music video for his latest single, Wristwear, has over 30,000 views, and he is getting ready to release his second EP. Welcome to the shows, HollywoodSos.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming. I'm really excited to have you on my show. Rapping. When did you discover a passion for it? Is this something you've been doing for a long time, or is it something you recently tapped into?
I think it's something I've always known how to do.
Okay.
Something that I've probably taken more serious as of recent. You know what I mean? I've been taking it serious for the last, I want to say, two and a half years.
Yeah. So what does a normal studio day look like for Sos?
Oh, a normal studio day?
Yeah, do you
That's
go
a really
in,
good question.
write down lyrics, or you freestyle? Like, what's the process like?
Me and my, engineer Greg, who's also just like pretty much executive produces, co-executive produces everything I do. I don't know. We're really big vibe guys.
Yeah.
Like really big into just like the feel of things. So like we'll just go in there and, we're friends also, so we just like kind of kick it and then, just look for that instrumental and then just get to work on it. You know what I mean? And then get to creating. So yeah, it's cool. That's the best way to describe it. It's cool. It's not something that we really just go in there and focus on and bump heads about it. Nah, you just go in there and just try to make music, try to make really good music too. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, for sure, because everybody has their own way of doing it. And it's so interesting to see how other artists, like, how they go in and do it. Because, like, we were speaking about Tupac earlier. I feel like Tupac would stay in there for nights and nights and nights. And it's crazy because up until the last moments of his death, that's when he was in the studio making tracks the most. So it's interesting to see the different ways.
Strange thing about that is I heard somewhere, and I think it was like an interview that he did, that he got like a prophecy or something from somebody saying that he was gonna die, and that was the reason why he went and tried to make as many songs as he did. But he like, I know him, a couple other artists that I've seen work, guys that are just like nonstop, like you know what I mean. Their work ethic is crazy, and I think with anything that you do, if your work ethic is strong and you keep at it, like you're going to get like where you want to be. So yeah.
How do you feel about the music coming out of Toronto right now? Do you think we're finally developing a sound? For example, the UK, they have their own grime sound. New York rappers even have a specific sound. Are Toronto artists finally developing a specific sound?
I don't think you can ever say that Toronto's or Canada for that matter is ever going to create a specific sound, just for the simple fact that if the music is a reflection of the people, we're a melting pot, right? Like we are all these different cultures and ethnicities and nationalities that all live in one place in synchronicity. So if you have like going to school and you usually have like one Asian friend, one Indian friend, one black friend, one white friend. You kind of know, a little bit about each of their cultures. Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of how, Toronto is anyway. So if you have all these cultural like influences, then it's hard to say that like it's ever just gonna sound like one thing. It's always gonna maybe sound a little bit like this, a little
similar,
bit like that.
Yeah.
I think we're the best at mixing it and making it all come out right. 100%.
Right. When you start to become successful, people that might be in your circle may treat you differently. Today we call it clout chasers or haters. How do you deal with haters, and like, what could you tell people watching this video how to approach just those little, I want to call them bugs that kind of suck your energy, or like, hate, or there's this jealousy there. Like, how do you deal with that?
There's a bit of selfishness that you have to take in your life.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? You have to be selfish with yourself, selfish with your dreams. And if the people around you are not being, you know what I mean, direct components of where you're trying to go in life and vice versa, then there's probably not a big reason for you to be hanging around with them like a lot of the time.
Okay.
Like, you do what I'm saying? Like, if you're supposed to be spending, a very wise individual once told me that in life you're supposed to be spending 80% doing, or 75% doing, or 75 to 80% doing. You're supposed to spend 15% planning and 10% doing nothing. So if you're doing what you're doing 80%, 75 to 80% of the time, you're not really going to have time for all the other people who are not doing what you're doing.
Yeah. I like that you put it that way.
Yeah.
And I also like that you mentioned how sometimes you have to be selfish.
100%.
And how you broke it down. So like someone like you who's probably on the go, making music all the time, how exactly, like what do you do on your pastime to just forget about all the music and to just refresh and kind of have a clear mind?
At this point, I'm just too immersed in it. It's too close for me to slow down. So, but at the same point in time, like, I don't know, I go to the movies. I gym every day almost, like, you know what I mean? And, you know, but I'm at a point in my life where I'm just working on myself. Like, you dig what I'm saying? Just myself being my career and those around me, like, you know what I mean? So if I'm making myself the best and making the people around me the best, I'm doing what I like to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't think everybody's like that though. Like, some people just are gonna want to do things, like, you're gonna want to go, I don't know, play games or something like that because it makes you happy. But me personally, like, I really get a kick out of like helping somebody else, and that sounds
that's amazing because we need more people.
But watch, it's let me show you.
Okay.
It's not even so much the fact like Mother Teresaing like a situation and being like, oh, I just helped you. I get a kick of connecting two people who had a common goal, but they needed each other, but I'm the one in the middle. Okay. But you know what I mean? I've created something. Like, you know what I mean? Being able to like help in a way where, because of the person I am and the position that I am and the people that I know, somebody who doesn't have access to that, but I know would be really good with some of those people. Okay. Like, I love doing that. Yeah. Like, I really like.
You get a kick out of it. Like, it makes you feel happy.
Really good. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it's about knowing yourself. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know how people always like, yo, know yourself? But
yes,
like,
everyone always
in all actuality, like, you really just need to know yourself. Once you know yourself, you'll know what makes you happy and what makes you not happy.
Do you feel like you are where you need to be right now as an artist?
No.
No? No. What more needs to be done?
I want to be able to make the music the whole world sings.
The whole world. What do you mean by that? Because again, this is a subject where people want to listen to almost anything. So how could you accomplish
real
that?
hits?
Okay.
Like real songs, like, and that's the thing, because we're in this like computer, you know, information super age and everything can get pushed on you and stuff like that. There's a lot of, you know, hearing something and be like, you know, I heard it and then I like it now because I kept hearing it. Like, you know what I mean? Whereas, you know, songs like, okay, Bodak Yellow, for a lady, like, you know what I'm saying? When you heard it, the energy that it gave you wasn't an energy that was really, you know, around at that time. So it was like an anthem, and that's why it went as far as it did. It wasn't because they pushed it on you, because it's like, she wasn't Cardi B when she put out Bodak. Like, it was something where you had millions and millions of people feeling the same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I look at it like, the whole world was singing Bodak Yellow at one point. Yeah. So if you write the songs that like connect, that the whole world can sing, then you're a real artist. Like,
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Making the tracks that really connect with people.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, as opposed to just trying to put out like what's new and what's hot and all that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Making real music. Yeah. So
while we're on the topic, you're getting ready to release your second EP.
I am.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. I'm happy about it. Yeah.
I'm excited to hear it. What kind of messages are you addressing on this one? Or like, what are some things that people can expect?
I think I'm still in you know, showing myself as an artist.
Okay.
And just introducing myself to the general public. So, this is more good music that I just want people to like really feel. You know, more vibes and stuff like that. I got Cardinal Official on the album.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
He's a like OG in Toronto.
Exactly.
And people are sleeping on him now, but before there was a Drake, it was him.
Exactly. And that's exactly why I wanted to do it. You know what I mean? Because for like a young guy, like, you know what I mean, just looking back in the day, looking at like, you know what I mean, much music and much vibe when these things were on TV and stuff like that. Like, he was the only one doing it, so I thought it was the only one important. From
Toronto that was
exactly. So I thought it was really important to do that. But then on the flip side, I got Pressure on the album as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? For
so
the
you
YGs.
Got old,
I got the OGs and I got the YGs.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody taken care of, like, you know what I mean? And then in the in-between, we got like a lot of really good music, like, you know what I mean? A lot of good producers on there, like my engineer I was telling you about before, who's on the record, produced the intro and the outro to the record, got Daniel Worthy on the record, got my homie out of London, Craze on the record for producing. So I'm just looking forward to people hearing it. Like, you know what I mean? And just getting to experience the vibe.
What is the best piece of advice that you can give to local artists in the GTA who may be trying to build a career within the music industry? What would you tell them?
Get in contact with people like you.
Okay.
You dig? Because it's like people like you are the ones who are out here, and you have people like following you, and you're getting the message out. So if people like you don't do what you're doing, then there's no way for like people like myself to get the message out.
Right.
I think everybody's kind of caught up in going to Instagram and going online and stuff like that, but there's a lot of groundwork. You know what I mean? There's a lot of talk that needs to happen too. So do that and be around people who believe in you.
Right.
More than anything. Like, you know what I mean? Because there's gonna be days where you're not gonna believe in yourself, but you know what I mean? The people around you, like, those are the people who really like help you go on. You know how like every time, like, or not every time, but in life, like, you'll be doing anything, whether it be rapping or singing, doing anything you're doing, and like you're just talented, you might just have like one best friend who's like, nah, you need to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like, you know, your number one hype man. Like, you know, and at times it's like dreams are made or broken based on that one person or those persons around you. So just surround yourself with good people.
Yeah. 100%. You mentioned like being around people who might encourage you or help you. When did you see a transition within your career? Like, was it always, because as I said earlier, I think you're in a really good position, but was it always like that?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Began to transition probably like all the last year. It was a big transitional year. Like, you know what I mean? And it was a big learning year and learning what to do and what not to do. There's gonna come those, and this is for if you're an artist, if you are studying to be a lawyer, a doctor, a magician, if you want to be the best at that, there's gonna come a time when you have to do nothing but that. And it's gonna be a time when nobody's gonna see you do it, and it's gonna be probably the time that feels the worst, but it's the most important time, because that's the time when you're really honing your skill. Like, I remember one time Kanye said, yo, I did three beats a day for 3 summers. Break that down. Like, you dig what I'm saying? Summer, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
3
summers
beats a day
for 3 summers.
Wow.
Like, you dig what I'm saying? Like, 3 beats. What's the full line? 3 beats a day for 3 summers. I deserve to do these numbers. Meaning, I deserve to have the accolades that I have because of the work that I put in when nobody else was watching.
Yeah.
I remember what did Drake say? Is like way back in his line, like, I'm here in the studio making songs that everybody else is partying to.
Oh yeah.
Like, you dig what I'm saying? Like, it was like that's really, and that's what it is. So get to that place. Love something enough to get to that place, and once you do that, then something great's gonna happen for you. That's one thing I can say.
So you would agree that, like, you have to sacrifice and give up some stuff in 100%. Order to chase after your dreams. Yeah. 100%. There are gonna come those days where you don't want to get up, or like you're discouraged. I sometimes go through it where I feel like, is this show gonna do well? Or like, you know, those discouraging days. How exactly do you get through those days? Because it can get hard. You know what I mean? How do you deal with that? So
the most important word in that phrase or the question that you just asked was feel.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one word that is the deciding in all of that.
Yeah.
And that you're not gonna feel the same way every single day.
Mm-hmm.
But the principle of the situation and what has to happen if you want to get somewhere is that you're gonna do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you feel like. Mm-hmm. At times you just like, you're gonna have to say your feelings. Really.
Yeah.
Because your feelings always change. You're never gonna feel the same way every time you wake up in the morning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a partner, you're not gonna feel the same way about your partner every day. Like sometimes you might just want to be like, yo, I'm gonna go talk to somebody else. But the principle of the situation is that that's your partner.
Yeah.
Like and the principle is that you know what, we have a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like you dig what I'm saying?
Right.
And then that's the same thing with having a relationship with your dream. It's just like, yo, it's not every day you're gonna want to do that. It's not every day like you're gonna, you know what I mean, want to come to the studio. It's not like, you know what I mean, but your feelings change.
Yeah.
But what you're good at and what you're passionate is real.
Right.
And that's what the constant is. So
Mm-hmm.
just stick to the constant.
For sure. Last question. What would you say is your favorite lyric of all time? It doesn't have to be a hip hop track, a rap track, or like a quote.
I want to say I'll keep it to hip hop.
Okay.
Dead in the middle of Little Italy, little did we know that we riddled to middlemen who didn't do diddly. That's Big Pun. Big Pun did that on the record,
yeah.
And that was probably
sorry. What's
most. Sorry. Dead in the middle of Little Italy. So they're in the middle of Little Italy, which is in New York. Dead in the middle of Little Italy. Little did we know that we riddled. So little did we know that we spoke to middlemen who didn't do diddly. So they didn't do anything. So dead in the middle of New York, we spoke to somebody who wanted to do something, but they didn't do anything for us. That's what that means. Yeah.
Okay.
Big Pun.
Yeah.
That would probably be.
What song was that? Big Pun. Do you remember?
Big Pun featuring Fat Joe. I want to say Capital Punishment, but I don't think it's Capital Punishment. But it's definitely Big Pun featuring Fat Joe. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice. Well, on that note. List all your social medias. Where can people follow you, and how can they stream your music?
100%. It's. Am I going to a camera or am I just?
Yeah.
It's HollywoodSos on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook fan pages running around there. And then you can get my music on all streaming platforms. So your Apple, your iTunes, your basically the same thing. Your Spotify, anywhere where good music is played, I am there.
Yes.
100%.
Make sure you follow him. Stay up to date with him because his EP is releasing soon. So check that out when it releases. I'm your host, JustKeekz. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep talking hip hop.